Welcome to Brand Lover, honest, real and lively conversations for flourishing entrepreneurs and budding business owners on a mission to cultivate a heartfelt brand that connects with their purpose-driven mission. My hope is that you walk away feeling inspired and refreshed with a weekly takeaway in your back pocket that you can apply to your life or business. Welcome to Belinda Whelan, a certified health coach specialising in helping women with celiac disease to live a full and healthy life. Belinda works closely with women all over the world to teach them how not only to live with celiac disease, but thrive doing it. She is the host of the Healthy Celiac Podcast and founder of the Ultimate Celiac System. I cannot wait to find out more about all of that. But welcome, Belinda. Thank you so much for coming and having a chat with me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's great to be here.
Super fun. So please, just to start with, that was your professional intro.
Yes.
Please give us a little bit of a personal intro.
Yeah, for sure. So I live in South Australia. I live on right on the sand dunes in Moana, which is absolutely stunning.
Gorgeous.
And I've got 3 beautiful children, married to my amazing husband, and I just absolutely love what I get to do every single day, supporting people throughout the world, like you mentioned. And yeah, I guess it's really rewarding with helping people with celiac disease, because when I first got diagnosed, I had zero support and no one around me knew what celiac disease was, let alone how to give me the guidance that I needed. So that's why I'm passionate about helping people with their celiac disease diagnosis. Yeah.
Makes sense. So, okay, so we only met fairly recently, which was
Yes.
lovely. I loved chatting with you, and I was like, I just have to have Belinda onto the podcast. So I'm curious to find out more about your story. Were you a health coach before you went through your celiac diagnosis?
No. So I decided to become a health coach after my diagnosis. So it was probably about 3 years into my journey with celiac disease. I struggled a little bit initially to heal my body and to be able to figure out how to feel better. So I started on this journey of figuring out what I needed to feel better. And then I decided to become a health coach. I just wanted to help other people. And I basically started doing that. And I was one of the first health coaches in South Australia. So it was kind of mind-blowing, because no one really knew back then what a health coach was. So every time it would come up in conversation, I had to explain what a health coach actually is. And so I was helping women of all walks of life. It wasn't just celiac disease back then. It was anyone that needed support with their health and their wellness. And when we talk about health and wellness, it's not just what you put in your mouth. It's everything that encompasses life.
I was going to say, potentially could we perhaps define what a health coach is then? Because I'm not sure I even really know.
Yeah, no worries. So with health coaching, what we do more so is focus on the human as a whole rather than just what you consume. So things like your relationships. So that could be with your family, it could be with your workmates, your friends, the people in your environment. It's spirituality, whether that's God or the universe, it doesn't matter. But we all have this, spiritual sense to ourselves, and we all fit in a different box. Our work life, our home life, and then of course food and movement comes into it as well. So it encompasses all of that rather than, just what you're eating, because everything else has this flow-on effect that affects you. So for example, one of my past clients, she used to come home from work and she would just devour cheese. And that was her obsession. She just couldn't stop. And it wasn't that she was obsessed with the cheese. We figured out that she was lonely when she got home from work. So it had become a habit. So it's helping people find out why they do the things that they do. And it was because of her home life. She'd come home from work and there was no one there to come home to. So sort of getting to the nitty-gritty of why we do things as a person.
Digging that little bit deeper rather than just being like, eat this. Blah, blah, blah times a day and do this, blah, blah, blah times a day. Getting deeper and looking more holistically. That's so interesting. So you were saying that you didn't initially specialize in celiac disease. What did that
So
look like for you? How were you, like, what were you delivering? How were you helping people?
So with my initial work, what I was doing was 6-month programs with people. So they would meet with me twice a month in person, and I would do coaching for them over a period of 6 months. So sitting down with them in the beginning and working out what their goals were and helping them get to them over that period of time.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because even though I wasn't, specialized in celiac disease, a lot of women that came to me either had celiac disease or they had gluten intolerance, or they discovered after my coaching that they actually were celiac or had a gluten intolerance.
What?
Yeah. So it was just
Wow.
funny how these people were drawn to me. So
Yeah.
it was really cool being able to support them, because it just felt easy. When you love something and you're good at something and it doesn't feel like work, it just felt like it was fun and easy to pass that information on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
that's kind of how it all started in person. So
Yes,
yeah.
amazing. And so now, so that was in person, right? So now you're predominantly online based,
Yes.
and now you have really, really pigeonholed yourself. Like people talk about niching, you have niched, like
I
you
have
have
niche.
smashed that
Yeah.
barrier. And it's something, and this is why I really wanted to talk to you, because
Yeah.
niching is really scary for a lot of people. I find that, like, particularly, I guess, in those early stages where they're not, like, everything just is daunting, and people feel like if they niche that they're going to be closing themselves off to work.
Yeah.
There's this kind of mental barrier that they have to get through.
Yeah.
So how did you know that, like, how did you make that decision? Like, was it one of those things that it was slow, suddenly, or was it like, this is it, this is what I'm doing, I know I have to do this?
Yeah, pretty much. So I stopped my other business for a little while to grow my family. So
Okay.
after my third baby, I don't know, I've always been a bit of a go-getter person, that I always have to have something outside of family and friends. It's got to be something that I can focus on for me that feels, rewarding and that type of thing. So after after I had my third baby, I think she was around 1, and I said to my husband, I don't know what I want to do, but I feel like I am missing my coaching. I feel like I'm missing my business. I almost was going through a period of grieving that I didn't have that for myself anymore.
Yeah.
So, well, just do it again, just get back into it and just start.
Yeah.
But I could see that the world had changed so much in such a short period of time. And I was like, how am I going to get my name out there? How am I going to share my message with the world? And I said to him, I'm so drawn to just helping people with celiac disease, because people would ask me questions all the time. People were constantly, oh, my friend Belinda, she's got celiac disease, she's a health coach, go and talk to her, go and ask her. So I'd get messages from people asking me all these questions. I'm like, these people need my help.
Yeah.
Like, it's 15 years on from when I got diagnosed and nothing has changed. The
Yeah.
doctors don't know any more than what they did when I got diagnosed. The dietitians have still got minimal amount of information about celiac disease. They're not an expert, like, they don't have the expertise in it. So I was like, I've got to do this. So I thought the easiest way of getting my name out there is to start a podcast. And it absolutely has been the best thing possible, because I think I was saying this to you when we met, was if someone types in celiac or celiac disease on a podcast platform, my podcast shows up.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was
Number
to,
one. I did it before.
I did it. Oh, cool.
I
So
literally did it.
that's amazing. Like, that's
Because I know you
incredible.
said it, so I'm like, I'm going to test this out.
We test it.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yes.
Yeah.
So if someone was to go to Google, for instance, and type in celiac disease, I'm not going to show up. I'm
Yeah.
not going to show up like in hundreds of pages. So
Yes.
that information that I'm sharing perhaps on a blog is not going to reach the people that need to see it. So podcasting has just been next level for me. And, if I was just, helping women about health, wellness, again, I'd probably be right down the bottom of those podcasting platforms, not making an impact, not making a difference to the people that need to hear it from me.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So that all makes complete sense. And I just, like, bow down to you because I think you're so clever. I think you're so clever. Like it's anyone's dream to have something that is just so so what people want and need, and to have it so accessible. Like it's just amazing. So this kind of leads to my next question, and you're obviously very passionate about helping people with celiac disease, so I guess that helps. But how do you stay disciplined within your niche? Because like I know that I sort of struggle with what to share content wise. Like in my heart, I know that to build a strong brand and to have that reputation and to like be known for that particular one thing is really important. Your content needs to be succinct and in that lane, so shall we say. Sometimes it's really hard because like you learn a lot in business and you got a lot to share, and like you're a mom, so you could easily go down the mum path, like so many things that you can share. So how do you do that? Like you've got 150 episodes about celiac disease, and that just makes my mind blown. I'm like, how are you going to make another 150? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you do that?
I think because I kind of look at it like celiac disease is the big umbrella, and underneath that are all these things that people with celiac disease need to know about. And anything to do with health really can be tied into that. And I am so passionate about helping people with their health. There's a lot of influencers that are in the gluten-free celiac space, and they push a lot of unhealthy products, and they get paid to promote products, and people reach out to me all the time to push products. I'm like, that just doesn't align with my values. And I'm like, not interested. But I can teach people about health, and I can teach people about the benefits of eating certain foods and avoiding other things. And that, there's so much that I feel like I've still got to give. And I hope that makes sense. But I am definitely multi-passionate, and there are different things that I'm working on, and I've got to sometimes rein it in. My husband's almost my business coach that helps me, like, Belinda, you just need to finish this first before we move on to the next thing. So I am definitely multi-passionate, but I think because it's that health side of things does fall under celiac, that it makes it easy to dabble in, sharing different content.
So you can almost just share that content, but then always just bring it back to relating to somebody with celiac.
I'm always like, whenever I'm recording an episode or I'm making a blog post or a graphic for social media, I've always got that person in my mind who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to everyone. Like, I'll make it very clear that it's about celiac disease. And I have a lot of followers that have got non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which my son has. So doesn't have the celiac gene turned on, but pretty much has all the same symptoms of celiac disease. So I have a lot of people that follow me that have that. I'm not necessarily talking to them, but everything I share is completely relevant. So
that's incredibly interesting, and raises a really good point around the topic of niching as well. And for those people that are scared to do it for fear of them not being enough people to feed their business, which also I guess comes down to my next question is, like, I know that you've got the podcast, but we talk about that fear of them not being enough people. If you narrow down, like it means that person's not going to want to work with me because I say that I'm a celiac coach only, and that builds all this fear. But how do you attract, like, how do you find clients? Like, how do you attract clients? You're saying that you talk to that one perfect person, but like, how is there enough traffic there? So that's kind of, is that
I guess it's
how
traffic.
do you get clients? I guess that's most like in a nutshell.
It's definitely mostly from my podcast.
Wow.
My podcast has been listened to in 122 countries now, which I just don't even understand that.
Amazing.
Most of those countries, English is not their first language.
What?
So it blows my mind. Like,
incredible.
How? Why? In the beginning, I thought maybe 5 countries I might be able to reach, that I'd get my name out there and get my message out there, but it's far and wide. So I guess the right people that want to work with me or that want to do my programs, they just, they find me through my podcast. And I'm on social media as well, whether many people come from that, I'm not 100%, but most people say, oh, I originally found you on your podcast, and, you know, that's how I purchased your course or whatever. So,
Oh, that's incredible. And so just like, I think podcasting is so powerful because people can just passively get to know you, and you can build that know, like, and trust factor. Through having all that evergreen content is incredible that they're getting to that point of wanting to purchase without you sort of, I guess, having to expel too much energy. I know you have to do a lot to create the content, but that's you know, it's the dream. Like, that's so
and I find it easy. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, I keep hearing all of these things like, you know, work less, you know, you'll get more kind of thing. And I truly do feel that way. Like, I feel that podcasting is super easy for me. It's not a chore, it's not hard work. I enjoy it, and I'll come up with a topic and that's it. I'm away. I just chitter chatter and out comes the content. So
so you don't write an outline or a script or anything?
Sometimes I'll write a bit of an outline or notes, but most of the time it's just I'll come up with an idea and off I go.
Wow, that is so aligned. Like, that's
I don't know, I just find it easy. I don't know. It's one of those things. You're passionate about it, it should be easy. Why make things hard for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So exciting. All right. So do you have any advice for someone who is qualified in their field? Let's just say a health coach, or like a naturopath, or any kind of service provider, I guess, who is struggling or scared to pin down a niche, for fear of, you know, like it's stopping them from, they think that it's going to stop them from getting clients outside of that niche through the door. Like, do you have any sort of sage words of wisdom for them in choosing a niche?
I guess, like, you know, definitely choose a niche that you're passionate about. Let's just say you were a naturopath and you loved helping women with their hormones as such. Then if you were to niche down on that, you are talking directly to a lot of women. There are a lot of women that have got hormone issues. It could even branch into menopause. There's a way that your message will get to those people much more strongly than the other 10 naturopaths who are just naturopaths and work with anyone and everyone. So you are honing in on your message and you are targeting your ideal client who you love to work with, and then your business becomes more rewarding because you are working specifically with those people that you love to support and guide. So does that kind of explain?
Absolutely. And do you think that, like, content creation and topics flow a lot easier when you do have a more defined area?
Definitely. Yeah. When I had my business previously, so my previous business was called Healthy Loving Life. And every week I was like, there's so much to talk about. What do I narrow it down to? And it was sometimes like information overload. I didn't really know what to share because there was so much that I could talk about. So and often a lot of ideas come from people that ask me questions or people that give me feedback, or you know, they've said this happened at the doctor's or this happened at the dentist. I'm like, there's some info I forgot to share, or that's, you know, that's something that's in my program, or things pop up.
Yes, absolutely. You have to sort of have one ear to the ground, don't you? Like, to be always knowing, like, what are my people wanting to know? What do they want from me, rather than trying to anticipate it yourself? Thinking about your heart open and your eyes open and your ears open, and remembering to write it down.
Yes, I do that. My Trello board is my best friend.
I love it. I love it. All right, lovely. Well, you've shared so much and I'm so grateful for you being here. Do you have any final thoughts or recommendations? Any pearls of wisdom from somebody who's sort of
don't be scared to follow. Don't be scared to follow your passion. Like, I think we're just so conditioned to be scared and fearful, but you know, there's a lot out there, and there's more than enough business to go around for each person. So follow your dreams, follow your passion, and I think, you know, everything that will come to you is meant to be.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. So now I just
Welcome.
have some rapid fire questions that are kind of fun.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say what is your favorite, and I'll say a word, and it's just kind of whatever pops up.
Okay.
So okay, you ready?
Yep.
What's your favorite app?
Oh, Canva.
Ooh, time of day?
Bedtime. 10:30.
I love it. Exercise? Type of exercise?
Oh, Reformer Pilates. Obsessed.
Ooh, killer. Okay.
Mm.
Favorite habit?
Favorite. What was that? Sorry.
Habit or ritual?
Habit.
Habit or ritual?
Ooh. Reading.
Nice. I like that. Favorite way to relax?
Friday night bath time.
Ooh, I like that. Is that a regular thing?
That is a regular thing. Not so much lately. It's been a little bit too hot,
A
but
bit
normally Friday night is facial, shave the legs, have a bath.
hot.
Yeah.
Good on you. That's inspiring. All right. Sorry. This is very rapid fire. Favorite thing about your business?
The feedback.
Aw.
It's rewarding. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. Love it. And okay, where can we find you? If somebody wants to come and have a chat, or if they are celiac themselves and inspired by your story, would love to come and learn from you because you are literally amazing. Like, you're just a wealth of knowledge. I've been looking at some of your social content the last couple of weeks, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's like,
Oh, thank you.
yeah,
That's so lovely.
I'm inspired.
So my Instagram is the Healthy Celiac. My podcast is the Healthy Celiac Podcast. And then my website is belindawhelan.com. So there's info on there about my courses, programs, and everything else on there.
Amazing. So get in touch with Belinda if you have any questions or you'd like to have a chat. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with me and sharing your story and your pearls of wisdom with our lovely ladies.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
If you found this episode inspiring or helpful, I invite you to share the link with another woman in business or someone who needs to hear this message. Every woman we can support to grow a meaningful, profitable brand is another woman who is free to live a purposeful life for herself and be more present for her family. None of us are alone in the challenges we face in business, but the solution can start with a gift from someone else, and it could be a podcast episode just like this one. Thank you for listening.